Hi kids, Tanglewood Sue. Slight change of plans for today. I hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. It's hard to tell the difference, right? What's a weekend? What's a weekend? It's where things stop and then things start, except nothing's stopping and nothing's starting. Um, so I tried to take a couple days off. I don't know that worked. I don't know if it's working for you guys or not either, but just trying to find some normalcy. So why am I out here? Where am I? I am on my screened-in porch, brought to you by Side Porch Nick. Why am I on my porch today? Well, I was all set up with a project inside for the new Sue Revue. Welcome, Tanglewood Sue here with the new Sue Revue with Tanglewood Sue 2. I was all set up, but I don't know if you guys heard on Friday, we have some tenants in our Airbnb. They are not doing well with this confinement at all. And so I can't do the live in that room because there's too much screaming going on and it comes up through the floorboards and it's making me really tense. They're leaving in a couple days. I think they're really nice people. Really been great. But I think that the stress of this and the inability to just leave, I feel like everyone in my family, like, you can hear everything. Hey, Chris, you can hear everything through the floorboards. Like, I don't mean to be dissing my Airbnb. It's awesome. But there is, we warn people that, they can hear us pretty well and we can hear them pretty well. And so, oops. With a project inside for the It went. I'm on a loop. Did that work? Am I back? Okay. Anyway, I'm not trying to gossip. It's just that the tension level. Hey, Nanette. Hey, Heather. The tension level down there is such that I can't do the show from the room above, and we know everything. We know everything because they're hiding nothing. And so we all want to kind of go down there and see if we can help them and sort through some of these issues, but it would be completely inappropriate. We know that. So we're just like kind of gritting our teeth and turning up music really loud. Anyway, that's why I'm here. So thank you guys for coming on today. And I'm sorry I can't do what I was going to do, but I did bring my supplies out here and I thought, what else could I do today that would be fun? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to seal the tiles without using resin. I'm also making a video about that so that you can really see all the details from beginning to end, but I'm going to tell you my secret here today. And then in order to establish a little bit more normalcy in my life, what I used to really like doing, even before I was overwhelmed with the store and all the other things that I've been doing the past couple of years, I just love working on my house. I've always loved working on my house, but yet I haven't done that in a very long time. I think the last thing we did was the porch. And then, like many entrepreneurs and the cobbler's children who have no shoes, right? I am definitely the upcycler, painter, lover of interiors who has somewhat neglected my own because I'm too busy running in that race, right? So, Brenda, hey! Oh my God, Brenda! I haven't seen you in forever, sweetie. I'm looking down because all my comments are down here. So I thought I'd take you on a little tour of the projects that I want to take on and ones that I can do live because I have so many just here in the house. Okay, so I'm hoping that the connection will be good enough outside and I can move around if by any chance I lose you guys, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. I will go back on live just on Facebook because I can't do both without my computer. Okay, but if I lose you, I'll jump back on. So thank you for your patience. And I think we're all trying to hold everybody with a little bit of kindness right now and a little bit, I think if this situation had been different and I was dealing with this tenant, I would have gone down there and been like, dude, not cool. But like, I know why they're fighting. I know the stress that everybody is under. And all tensions are high. And so we just need to take a deep breath, take care of the people that we love, right? And plug in our phones so they don't die. And there we go. So on Friday, if you guys joined me, we did some paint pouring. Actually, the light's kind of nice out here when it's not too glary. I want to show you how these turned out. These are using Miss Lillian's No Wax Chalk Paint mixed with a little bit of Floetrol and a little bit of water. And I'm doing a test for a tabletop that I'm going to do for one of my clients and friends, Denise. So here's the thing. There reaches a certain point, I want to be honest with you about this. I want to be honest with you, where sometimes I'm online and we love our products so much and we're trying to figure out all the different things that our products do, that sometimes we have them do things that they weren't intended to do, which is cool, except when you have to pull the lens back. Do you guys know what I mean? And go, but that costs more and it doesn't work as well, even though we like that product. And wait, why are we, that is unattractive. Why are we using that? Like, sometimes you find yourself in that loop where you're so intent on using what you have and why you like it that it may work for another purpose, but it may not be the best. And so I was worried that that would be the case with using Miss Lillian's paint. Like, why not just use acrylic like you would use for paint pour? And the end to my story is actually it's awesome, and this is why. It's stuck like chalk paint. So if I had used, I'm sorry for the glare, the sun's going to go down, this is going to be horrible. If I had used acrylic paint, I would have gotten these really great cells. I'm sure that I would have, but it would not have adhered to wood furniture the way I wanted it to. So, but in a couple places, it did crack a little bit there because there's not gooiness in this paint. All right, does that make sense? We used it, but I'm doing the test on the tiles because I want to do it on furniture. So this relates back to furniture. So I guess that's a very, very long-winded way of saying, if you're going to do it on tile, I would still recommend using acrylics. They're gooey and they're yummy and they're rich and they've got a little gloss to them and they will work very well. But I wanted to do these on here because I'm going to do a table with them. Now, let me show you something else before I show you how to seal them. We had a bunch left over on the tabletop. I hope you guys can see me okay. Hey, Mary, Barbara, Brenda. Hey, Nick. Front porch. I'm on the side porch, darling. I'm on the side porch, actually. And I'm going to show everybody the cleanup that I've been doing so we can use this porch again well. So when it was all on the tabletop, which is inside, where it's noisy and we're not going in there, I was like, we dipped some of these in at the end in order to get a separate swirl. That's what this was. This was leftover paint that was sitting down, and we went bloop and lifted it back up. Now, we still had a lot left, and I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't want to lose it. So I had these pieces of cellophane. I don't remember why. Probably for doing some kind of projection of an image. And I took them, and I dumped them on. So that's this. This is the side that you can feel, but look. Sorry, I'm getting notifications. But then look. Look at this. Look how pretty that is. So that is the part that went down. So I went bloop, bloop. And so I got this swirl. Now that's pretty, but I think that's even prettier. And now it's on the cellophane. And I thought, oh, cool. I'll peel it right off. Yeah, no. Because it's chalk paint, it's not peeling off. But it's on here. So I'm going to challenge you guys to help me figure out what to do with these. My thought was, here are my ideas, and then we'll hear your ideas. My thought was to cut them out and maybe put them in a little bevel, like for jewelry, then cover with ice resin or something really easy. So I can use like the skin. So imagine that was like in a little, Cornish, I want to say Cornichon. That's not right. That's a pickle. Copichon, not Cornichon. I also thought about running these through my Cricut machine. That work? Would I break my Cricut machine? I feel like I won't, but I've broken other things before. So I feel like I could, if I wanted to, go back and do a whole sheet of this. And then take a name or a design or something really cool. And since I wouldn't have been able to cut it just as resin, it would have gotten all gooey and sticky and whatever. But because I've put it on here, anyway, am I brilliant and clever? Or, yeah, no, Sue, that's just, like, these are how the ideas come to be. You just don't know if that thing turned into the next thing. Like, the first person who's like, what happens, you know, if I add this to this? Is that going to work, right? With the paint chip? No, it's on there. Heather, it's not transparent. It's not transparent. So it would be very pretty, but it's not see-through. So, Barbara, how did you find a pickle emoji? Oh my God, you're so funny. Go cornichon. I made you some cornichon jewelry. Would you like to see it? It looks like a pickle, honey. That's what she said. Okay, here we go. I'm editing the next video, you guys. That's me and my niece, and she's 17, and she's going through this phase of humor where everything I say, that's what she said, and it is so funny. So I'm editing this whole thing together of she and I painting together, and that's what I'm hearing all day long. So that's in my head. All right, I'm going to try to tilt this down. I'm going to hope that the glare is not ridiculous, but basically, for those who saw, if you have done either with chalk paint or with acrylic paint or whatever hell kind of paint or decoupage, anything, and you want to seal in your tiles and be able to put hot tea, hot coffee, gin and tonic, whiskey sour, Bloody Mary, I'm just listing all the drinks I've had today, on them, you need to seal them. And sometimes resin is just a pain in the butt. You've got to make sure that there's no divots. And then you got to make sure that you mix it right. And then you got to make sure that you're well ventilated. And then you got to make sure that it dries right and there are no bubbles. I mean, there's just a lot going on. And so here's my trick. Here's the trick. Okay, this is Liquitex Gloss Varnish, in case it's backward. Liquitex Gloss Varnish. And this stuff is magical. It's magical. If my husband comes out here, I'll yell for him to go get the other one. Let me see if I can tilt you down. I'm going to try. I wasn't set up for this, you guys, so I'm so sorry. I think that'll work. Will that work okay? Let's see if I can actually use my computer to... No. We're kind of in shade and not in shade, so I'm sorry about that. But hopefully you can still see. Howdy, Betty. Howdy, howdy. We're kind of making do right now today. I wasn't able to use my studio for reasons that you can go back and see later. All right, but these are all the pieces that we did. And here's what I want to show you that we're going to do. And then we're going to take a tour of my house, of the outside, and we're going to talk about some projects that we're going to do. But this is, like I said, the Liquitex. And here's the trick to it. This is good even if you're going to epoxy resin your pieces, because it's going to seal in whatever silicone is there. And you're going to be saying, Sue, you didn't use silicone on these. That's okay. Even with, you can still get divots with whatever you do. And this is still a great sealant, whether you use silicone or not. So the trick is to just put a little drop on each one. Okay? All right, there we go. I find that easier than setting out a bowl and doing it that way. And then I'm just using a glove here. I wish I had a stack of these. I would give them all away, but I don't have a stack of these. And then what we're going to do is spread this out. And then we're going to take our tour and come back and I'm going to show you. Do you see how the color's really getting rich right there too? So because this was chalk paint, I'm seeing the colors really come to life. For this first coat, I'm putting on very little. And I'm kind of going back and forth in a basket weave pattern. The reason I'm doing this is whatever's on top of here, any oil at all from anything, I'm trying to kind of mix into my paint. All right? So it's almost like I'm stirring it up. I'm stirring it up. Okay? So I'm going to do each one here that way. And then make sure you also get around your edges. There we go. And I missed some paint here, but I can go back there with a paint marker. Okay, and I'm going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's actually really great that I'm out here doing this because the light is hitting these such that I can really see what's happening. I always recommend that if you're doing resin work, work somewhere where you have a light source that can bounce not from above but kind of at an angle. Do you see that? See, so I can see what's happening with the texture. So that's a little crunchy, but that's okay. It's not going to stay crunchy. Not going to stay crunchy, people. All right. Now, so I'm going to get each one on there. Feel free to ask any questions. Betty, it does make a big difference with these. Now, if this had been acrylic paint, we wouldn't see that much difference. But because this was chalk paint, it's really, really, really bringing them to life. Okay, so now you can kind of see. Now let's go back to that very first one that we did. Do you see that? That is dry. It's dry already. But do you see how you see the brush strokes in there? But I don't see any divots or anything like that. So now what the trick is, you guys, so once you go through, let them dry a little longer than this. But the trick is go through and put another drop on and then go in one direction, okay? So if pretend these had been dry for like 10 minutes, I'm going to dip it all over again and I'm going to go one direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? I'm not going to go two directions. I'm just going to go one. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to go the other direction. All right? And you're just going to do that 5 or 6 times. And each time, use a little bit more of your varnish. Now, the reason we used very, very little in the beginning was just kind of to get that base on there that would mix up with whatever residue was on our tiles, okay? But now that we're getting more and more, this is self-leveling. So as we build up and up and up, we can go even lighter. So let's pretend, for the sake of argument, right here, this is the first one we did, that it was, we'd already done like 5 or 6 layers on it. Okay. See how I put a lot more on there? And I'm not going to brush and push in the way I did before. I'm just going to let it, kind of, I'm just pushing it. I'm just pushing it to the sides and then twirling it around a little bit. Now, do you see how much glossier that is? And the bubbles will pop, or you can breathe on them, or use your blowtorch, okay? But those will pop out. Okay, so do you see that? It's starting to get really glossy, and that will self-level out, okay? So so I could probably do all of these like an hour. Now I might have been able to do the resin in an hour, but then it would take me an hour to get it out of my hair, 3 hours to get it out of my clothes, about 5 hours to recover from the smell. Are y'all feeling me on that? Like, I'm a resin fan, I am, but if I can use anything else and get the same effect, that's what I'm gonna do, all right? So these are all starting to dry already. And do you see that? So it's got a nice sheen to it, and it's almost matte instead of high gloss, but you still have all the color. And once we put about 5 or 6 layers on here, you guys, you've still got all the durability. Okay, what do you guys think? You wanna try that? Do you wanna try that maybe instead of resin, especially since we're home and you're doing it in your living room? I mean, I've done this in my living room with the cats, with the resin. And then, yeah, it was pretty. Okay, so I had a lot more other things I wanted to show you today. We're going to have to table that till tomorrow because I can't get into my studio today. But I'm going to take you guys off the... Okay. So I promised you at the beginning that even if, I'm sorry for the glare, that we couldn't do what we set out to do today, I would still make it fun, and I'm going to take you on a tour. If you weren't here at the beginning, I have let a lot of things get neglected while I was running the store. Oh, that's better. Just needed to stand up and get the glare out of my face. While I was running the store. And so, like a lot of other people, I'm cleaning out my house. I'm doing I don't know why we have so much laundry. No one in my family is wearing pants. Why do we have so much laundry? Honest to God. It makes no sense. But I'm cleaning things out, organizing. People have said the first place they're going to go when we're all set free is Goodwill because there's going to be so much stuff there. I believe it because if everybody's doing what I'm doing, we're going to have a ton of stuff. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on and get some input on what you would like to see me redo. Now, I've got to leave my computer. Do you see my computer right there? I got to leave that there. So I can't see the comments while I do this. I apologize. But I'll come back and I'll read the comments. Let's flip around. Now, those of you who are fans know that this porch, so you can see my little setup here, was put together by my friend Nick, who's on here, Front Porch Nick. I cleared this out completely yesterday, and my husband hung my swing, which has been sitting on the porch for 3 years. Let me tell you guys a little story about this swing. I had it made by a carpenter I was working with at the time. I thought it was a really cute idea because I had these 3 chairs that had fallen apart and the legs were broken. I was like, I'm going to make a swing. So he built me the swing. Really, did you hear that? I'm going to make a swing. So he built me a swing. I didn't trust myself with carpentry skills. Now, why is this one brown and these are yellow? Because this is Swing 2.0. 2.0, people. So let's see if you can see the ceiling. Do you see the multitude of holes in the ceiling? So I had another friend help me hang this for my annual Derby Day party. I'm so excited. It was 3 years ago, and we hung this up. And within about 3 hours of the party, I hear a loud crash and a yell and a scream. 2 of my friends were, let's just say, making out. My parties aren't that wild. I mean, they're fun, but that was a little crazy. And the whole thing came crashing down. So it turned out that it wasn't bolted in the ceiling well enough. So I have to tell you this story. So yesterday, my husband's like, I'm going to put that swing up. And he does. And then he tests it, and he goes like this. Let's see if I can do it. He's like, it's good. It's good. And then he bounces. Bam! On the ground. This side fell out. I felt so bad. He goes out there. He tries it again. He puts another bolt in the ceiling. Do you see how many there are? He's like, I got it. I got it. Like, my man is like being a handyman around the house, and this has never happened before. So I'm kind of like, just encourage. Just encourage. So he does it again. He's like, he got it. And we both come out here and we sit down. You know what it's like when you sit on a swing that's already fallen? We both sit down. We're like, okay. Bam! It fell again. So I walk away. His pride is injured. His butt is injured. I don't want to hurt him anymore. He finally re-drilled the whole thing, put it on here. I didn't watch in case he fell again, and it's solid. But isn't it adorable? So it's made out of 3 old chairs. And when it broke the first time, the middle chair was destroyed. So I had to wait another year until I found a matching chair. So now we need to repaint it. So should I paint the yellow or should we repaint the whole thing? All right. I'm going to look back on your comments to see what you say. Let me flip around and show you what else is going on here. Other projects we can do. So I also I've got a lot of little tables that could use a freshening. Just things I found on the side of the road that I thought we could paint together and have some fun. I also have this couch that I've been sitting on. It is awesome. It is silk. It is very faded. And I've had it on my porch for about 4 years now, I think. Because when I had it in my house, my cat peed on it. And I had to bring it out because it smelled. So I'm just being honest. And it's also not very comfortable. It's great for the porch because it's very short, but it's not super comfortable. It's more like a bench than a couch. But I've always thought we should totally go crazy with this. Look at all that detail. And then I think we can paint the fabric too. The fabric's in really good condition. It's just really faded. So we have to decide like what color. Because I'm almost thinking go back to its original pink. I mean, it was definitely a pink coral color. I thought that could be really fun, and then we could paint the rest something. I don't know. I don't know. But I think this could be a project for us to do on the new Sue Revue for sure. And then this is where it starts getting ugly, people, because I started pulling everything out and organizing. It's a mess. It's a mess. So I have, this is me trying, my husband's fencing gear. This is me trying to find a cord in the last 10 minutes before the show went on, so we didn't run out of battery. I have this vintage chaise lounge. I thought we could try to repair and paint together. It's really nice. We could do that. I also have a bunch of window frames. You see this window frame over here? That I think we could resin together and turn into stained glass. Kind of want to do that. That one's been on my porch for a very long time. Oops. Okay. I might lose connection. This was the, this is a mess. This is a bench I had, a friend and I turned into, no, this was a bed my friend and I turned into a bench years ago. But it is, and I painted it with DIY paint and it's starting to bubble up, the veneers coming off. Parts of it are in great shape and parts of it are going to need some love. So, and it got a big stain of it. So, and these parts are falling off. But this is, I've had this one for about 7 years. So, considering it's been sitting on my porch for 7 years, getting a lot of use, it's still in really good shape. And I think that we can fix this up, get some Bondo, just fix it up together so that we can save it because it's really useful. It's got a lot of storage for my daughter. What else do we have? I've got some stained glass that needs repairing. And my sister got this for me for my birthday last year. And I probably should have covered it because it's getting lazy getting outside, so you really should paint it. That's another one. Then, yeah, I'm going to clean all this mess up. I've been cleaning stuff out. Hi, Peppers. The other thing I want to do. Houses back the way we want them. Like I've gone through lots of stages of love and hate where I get things exactly the way I want it, but then I neglect it, and then I need to do it again. Or I kind of got it almost the way I want it, but not quite. Or I think I got it the way I think I want it, but then it's not really what I wanted. Like it doesn't. Oh, that's too bright. I don't actually have the use I thought I was going to get out of it. So it's time for reinvention. So I'd love to take you guys along on this journey. Even this, the cat tower, it's all gross and stained. And I thought, well, what if we watered down paint and painted it? Now, would that be something that I would normally choose to do? Probably not. But if I'm stuck here for another month, why the hell not? Let's make everything fun. All right. So thank you guys for coming to the new Sue Revue with Tanglewood Sue. I'm sorry we had to alter things a bit, but my tenants are, I'm sad but excited to say leaving in a couple days. So I will have use of my dining room again and hopefully not so much yelling, and I hope they get counseling and I hope it all works out. I hope all the couples out there fighting all day long are getting some help. So we're bickering, but not fighting. It's all good. It's all pretty good actually. But we were out of alcohol. Anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 5. Mwah.